Today, we're digging into a really fascinating study that looks at a way to seriously cut down on that post-workout ache that, let's be honest, we all know a little too well. So let's just jump right into it. We've all been there, right? That stiffness, that soreness you feel a day or two after a really good session at the gym, especially when you've pushed yourself. But what is actually going on inside your body to make you feel that way? You know, this feeling is so common, it actually has its own scientific name. And it's the big problem at the very heart of the story we're exploring today. And that name is delayed onset muscle soreness, or DOMS for short. It's what happens when you do some intense exercise and it causes these tiny microscopic tears in your muscle fibers. That leads to a bit of inflammation, and that's what causes the pain and stiffness. Now, a lot of us wear that soreness like a badge of honor, a sign we really challenged ourselves. But let's be real, it can also be super uncomfortable, and it can really hold you back from your next workout. So for any athlete, or really anyone who likes to exercise, finding a way to recover faster is a total game changer. And that thought, how can we recover faster, brings us to a really clever scientific study. The researchers came up with a fantastic design to test a potential solution. So back in 2010, this study was published that wanted to answer a pretty straightforward question. Could this one particular therapy really make a dent in DOMS? To figure it out, they recruited 35 healthy, active people who were willing to get sore, all in the name of science, of course. Okay, so here's the play-by-play of what they did. First, they had everyone do a tough leg workout that was pretty much guaranteed to cause soreness. Then, right after, one leg got a 20-minute therapy session. Here's the clever part. The other leg was hooked up to the exact same machine, but it was turned off. That was the control. Finally, they just tracked the soreness in each leg for the next 3 days to see if the therapy actually did anything. Now, this is what makes the experiment so brilliant. By treating one leg and not the other on the exact same person, they created a perfectly fair test. Think about it. Diet, sleep, genetics, how hard they worked out, it's all identical for both legs. It's an incredibly smart and precise way to compare the results. All right, so we've got this really smart experiment, but what exactly is this therapy they were testing? What is this invisible recovery boost? It's called Frequency Specific Microcurrent, or FSM. And basically, it's an electrical current that's so tiny, you literally can't feel it at all. The best way to think about it is like you're giving your muscles a quiet, natural little boost to the recovery process, right at the cellular level. So how does this invisible current do its thing? Well, the idea is that this super gentle current helps speed up your body's own natural healing. It's thought to help calm down inflammation, boost your cells' energy production, help build new proteins to repair the damage, and even clear out waste products more quickly. Now, all of that sounds fantastic on paper, but the million-dollar question is, did this invisible boost actually make a real, measurable difference for the people in the study? And the answer is a resounding yes. I mean, just look at this chart. The difference is just dramatic. At 24 hours, the untreated leg had a pain score of 5.2, while the treated leg was way down at 1.3. Then at 48 hours, usually the peak of soreness, the untreated leg was at a 7 out of 10. The treated leg, barely a 1.2. The numbers really speak for themselves here. Let me put that in perspective for you. At the point where you'd feel the absolute worst, the leg that didn't get the treatment was in nearly 6 times more pain. It's a staggering difference. One leg felt pretty okay, and the other one was seriously hurting. So, after seeing that incredible data, what's the big takeaway? What's the final verdict on this whole thing? Well, the researchers themselves were crystal clear. They concluded, and I'm quoting here, that FSM therapy provided significant protection from DOMS at all time points tested. There's no ambiguity there at all. So let's just boil it all down. The bottom line is that this study showed this specific microcurrent therapy is a highly effective tool against muscle soreness. It didn't just kind of help, it slashed post-exercise pain. And that suggests it could help people get back to feeling and performing normally much faster. And that just leaves us with a really exciting question, doesn't it? This one study kind of cracks open the door to all sorts of new possibilities for how we handle muscle recovery. If an electrical current you can't even feel can make that big of a difference, you just have to wonder, what's next?